Hey, yeah, what's up? This disciple Marshall Occurrence rain back up in this anti-Illuminati all day, anti-America all day, anti-cop all day. So this message right here is going to be about basically how the American community, the 333 million people that are here, 333 million plus. That's the for people that don't know, that's the population. The amount of the population here is 333 million plus. It's not 334 million. It's 333 million plus. Under 334 million, but 333 million. That population of 333 million plus cannot work at one time in your country. As of now, November 2nd, 2022. So it's an illusion to think that everybody can be working. There's not enough jobs for everybody to work. And here's the problem. You have a government, a sophisticated government, that have nothing to do but to figure out stuff like this. They're not working other jobs. They're not doing anything else part-time. That part, that's a 7. Their only job is to try to figure out all these things that I'm telling you about. All of it. Most of it, right? But they don't have enough jobs to employ. This is supposed to be the greatest country in the world, the greatest superpower, but they do not have enough jobs to employ your whole community. That's a 7. So it's an illusion that everybody can work. That's what I want you to know today. If you don't get nothing from this video, if you don't walk away with nothing else, walk away with the realization that everybody else cannot, all of us cannot work at one time in this country. That's a crisis. Working on it is, and you got nothing else to do, and you got trillions of dollars. I mean, let's look at it with it all. Let's look at all they have at their hands, at their disposal. Let's look at all they have to utilize. They got billions of dollars. The foundation is they're the superpower of the world. What are they doing? They got all this money. They got all this time on their hands. They got nothing but time on their hands to figure this stuff out for years and years and years, right? Not just now. They had years to do it before. That's a 7. While you other Americans, you non-government job Americans, you everyday citizens are looking down on homeless people. Guess what? Everybody in your country can't work at the same time. So while you yelling at your car, go get a job, I ain't giving you nothing. When they ask for money, when they standing by the highway and stuff like that all throughout the country, while you just did that, you didn't realize that all of them can't work at the same time. That's a 7 out. Everybody can't work at the same time in your country. So what are we actually what is the plan? What is the vision? That's what I'm trying to get you to see. What we gotta start somewhere. What are we doing as of now? Okay? You got this information. You realize that, right? Everybody cannot work at the same time. Maybe me and you, but that's not everybody. That's a 7. See, all the stimulating of the economy, everybody's always talking about stimulating the economy getting better. You know how great the economy would be in America if everybody was working, or if everybody had the ability, the opportunity to work? Do you know how great the economy would be? You wouldn't have to worry about it because the American citizens would be stimulating the economy. Yeah. I can have real conversations. Can they? Can they have real conversations? Why? This is not the top priority. What else do you care about? What are your values? They're working for you. You're not working for them. Well, that's how it should be. That's how it should be. No pun intended. But you can't work for them can you? You can't even do it if you wanted to because there's not enough jobs for everybody here. But they call themselves working for you at the same time, huh? That's a 7. Well, why they call themselves working for you, are there enough jobs, bro? It's a yes or no question. It's a yes or no question. Are there enough jobs for us all? So then that's a no, right? That's a negative, right? So then what are we doing? What is this society doing? Okay, and what is their plans and what are they doing with the money? You got to find a way to you got to be creative and find a way to make more jobs. You got to find a way to do that. You got to find a way to do that. If you don't find a way to do that, what are you actually doing? Your priorities are out of whack. What are they doing? Oh, we're going to make this better. We're going to do this better. Won't you start with providing jobs for everybody? Won't you start there? And see, here's the problem. Every time they're telling you about jobs and all this stuff, that, like, for instance, you know, one of these American leaders may get on TV and tell you, oh, we just added 300,000 jobs to the American workforce, right? Those jobs, let me tell you how everyday Americans see it. They think that means, we all think that means we can go down the block and go and probably get a job opening. That's how most of us see that. When you say 300,000 jobs, that means we have them at our access to go and there's an opening somewhere. More, in other words, jobs are more plentiful around us, and that's not the case. That's a 7. What the case is most of those jobs that they add to the workforce are jobs that require college degrees or trades. Trade degrees. College degrees or trade degrees, which many American citizens don't have. They don't have college degrees. They don't have trade degrees. So your top priority should be providing jobs without college degrees and trade degrees. That's a 7. Well, everybody don't have it. So how you going to put everybody to work? Just sitting there waiting for them to get degrees? Sitting there waiting for them to go to college? Sitting there waiting for them to get trade degrees? Okay. Don't hold your breath. Don't hold your breath. That's all I'm saying. See, this is the real work. This is the real work. While everybody's sitting around playing games, this is the real stuff that should be talked about. These are the real conversations that should be talked about. Not this irrelevant stuff. And these irrelevant jobs that they add to your community. This is irrelevant to you. And well, if you don't got a college degree, you don't got trade degrees, then these jobs that they talk about they added is irrelevant to your American community for the most part. For most of us, at least 70%, 60 to 70% of us, that's irrelevant, these jobs that they add. They're irrelevant. They're irrelevant when you don't have the degrees. So the American government needs to come to terms with everybody don't go to college and everybody don't get trades and start providing everyday jobs for all of these citizens. How are you going to provide all jobs, all requiring college degrees for the whole entire American community? That's a 7. So all the jobs you provide gonna have college degrees on them. Most of them are trade degrees. Then how are you gonna provide for all these people without trade degrees and college degrees? How are you gonna provide job openings? By providing jobs that don't require college education or trade degrees. This is how you're going to do it. You can't, listen. You can't sit up and say, well, we just waiting for them to get degrees. You got to move on. That's not what the case is going to be. And when you move on, you're going to start providing jobs that don't require college education or trade degrees. Until you do that,
You're going to be sitting up talking about we added 300,000 jobs and they're irrelevant to the American community. That's a 7. It's irrelevant to 60 to 70% of us. Huh? When we can't get them without the degrees, when we can't compete for the jobs, when we can't compete for the openings, you can't compete if you don't got no degrees. Come on now. You don't even know what to do as far as the job description. Okay? This is the problem. Okay? What you need to put a demand on, all you people that be voting, you need to put a demand on first. Yo, let me tell you what your first demand should be. Yeah. You put these people in office. Let me tell you what your first demand should be. Your first demand should be jobs for the entire American community. Somebody that got a realistic plan, a real-time plan, a realist plan. You need a realist. All these people are dreamers, okay? Dreamers don't make it happen. Visionaries make it happen. It's a difference between a dreamer and a visionary. Okay? We can all dream, on cloud 9 about pies in the sky, right? I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about visionaries, people who have visions and plan according to the vision. Right? Otherwise, everybody's just dreaming. Otherwise, everybody have hopeful wishings for this country. It doesn't have to be like that. First of all, we have to come to terms with what is. We have to come to terms with what actually is the situation. The situation is everyone cannot work in America if they even wanted to. That should shock you. This is the greatest country supposed to be in the world. Okay, you got all this money, you got all this technology. We're doing everything but providing opportunities for everyone in America. We're doing everything, driving around, riding around, but everybody can't go get a job. So all these homeless people who you think are lazy, let me help you with something. All these homeless people that you think are lazy, all these people that you think are not, that just don't want to work, even if they did, that's what I'm trying to show you. Even if they did want to work, there are not enough jobs for all the American citizens in your community. As of now, I don't know about the future. As of now, everybody can't work. What you gonna do about that? What you have to say about it? What do you have to say about it? This should be top priority. What else is more important than putting everyone to work, right? What's more important than that? Can you tell me? Can you tell me what's more important? Oh, Ukraine? Ukraine is more important than you. Hey, I'm sorry, man. Look, hey. Ukraine is not more important than you. They send $1 trillion over there. Why don't they put $1 trillion to try to figure out how they're gonna get you to work and everybody to work? Won't they start being innovative for the millennium? Let's start being really innovative. And we're in a whole new century, and you still are not innovative. That's a 7 hour. Well, we're 22 years into 23 years into the millennium, and you still don't have all the Americans that you still can't put all the Americans to work, and you're in the 21st century. You're not as innovative as you think you are. Your technologies and gadgets you have, let's say it like Yoda says it. Technologies and gadgets you have, but you can't put everybody to work. Okay? So while you're boasting of technologies and all this surveillance that you have us all under and all the sophistication of your surveillance and operations, meanwhile, in mainland America, everyone cannot work here at the same time, even if they wasn't lazy, even if they wanted to work. So who you mad at? All you taskmasters, all you people who are so dogmatic about working. You know what? You didn't notice, did you? You didn't know this, did you? Now how you feel about it? Well, everybody can't work. That's the facts, buddy. Whether you accept it or not. I didn't ask you if you accepted this. See, with these facts, you know what's good about the facts? I'm not worried about if you accept it or not. I don't care if you accept this. This is facts. Everybody cannot work at the same time. Who cares how you feel about it? Who cares what your opinion is on it when this is the reality? They ain't been doing nothing about it. Now you want to talk? Now you want to talk. They ain't been doing nothing about it. Now you want to talk. Nah, let me do the talking. You can't put everyone to work right now. You've been talking enough, saying nothing. All right? Let me do the talking. You can't put everybody to work. So it's an illusion that everybody could be working. This is an illusion, guys. See, I need to talk to college kids, 20-somethings and 30-somethings, because you know what I'm starting to feel? that these 40s, even people my age and up 40s and 50s and 60s, you're ignoring what I'm saying. Yeah, you are. Yeah, you are. Yeah, you are. You're ignoring it. I'm looking at you, you're ignoring it. I just told you everyone cannot work in your country. You know what 20 and 30-year-olds would say? They will have the same response as me. This is ridiculous. You're doing everything with the money. 20-year-olds and 30-year-olds will talk just like this. You're doing everything with the money, everything but really helping us. You're going out to fight Ukraine wars and you don't even know the street politics. You don't know what's going on over there. How you know? You got all the money in the world. You boast on being the superpower, but yet you cannot employ every single American citizen, but yet you boast on being the greatest country in the world. Well, while you're the greatest country in the world, you can't employ every single American citizen, and that should be your top goal, hands down. Hands down, bruh. That should be your top goal. What else? What else? What else? What else? Your top goal should be putting everybody to work. But here's the thing. People say, well, with time, but with time, you're doing everything else though. With the time that you have, you're doing everything else while you talking about with time, we should put everybody to work. You ain't never even talked about it. Did you ever hear any of these Americans talking about putting everybody to work? That's a 7. You ain't never heard them say it in plain English. You know what's the problem is? These politicians are not talking in plain English here in America. That's a 7. Yes, talk in plain English. You have not said you want to put everybody to work. Everybody work tonight. Everybody's going to work tonight, but not here. But not here, guys. Everybody can't work here in America. Oh, it ain't you think this is a cop-out for a lazy man? Well, everybody can't work. I can't work. That's the next step. Oh, that's just a cop-out for a lazy person. Everybody cannot work here in America. Huh? That's the facts, man. Why you sitting up talking about everybody lazy? Why you wondering why everybody ain't working? And they doing everything else, though. That's what I'm saying. They got millions of dollars to utilize. Trillions of dollars even. They got trillions to utilize in your community. That's a 7. Okay, so what are they doing with it? Their top priority is not putting you to work. That's a 7. Their top priority is not putting you all to work. Why they say they're talking about people lazy? Why they talking about the working class? That part. Let's talk about that part. Let's talk about that part. The working class, right? The working class, right? Why ain't everybody the working class? Why aren't you working on us all being the working class? Because, see, it makes you start to think. It makes you wonder. Okay, are you using even the workforce and people being unemployed for as a sense of control over the people? Well, if everybody's working, then, I don't know. There's more of a sense of independence among us, right? Even from the government. So then it makes everything else in vain. You see what I'm saying? It makes everything else in vain when you can honestly look at your country and say, we're doing all this stuff, right? All this stuff, but we all can't work though. So what do the people, here's the punchline. What do the people supposed to do that's not working, are not able to get a job, where there's not enough jobs for them? What they supposed to do? Oh, sit out in the sun and bake like cookies? What do they supposed to do? Meanwhile, while there's not enough jobs for everybody, what do? They rely on you? Who they rely on? What are they supposed to do? That's what I'm saying. And it makes you think they don't really care, right? If you cared, you would have been jumping on this. Right? You would have been on this. But you're not, right? That's what we talk about. That's what we talk about. See, you should have knew this day was coming, because see, these politicians of the past, these baby boomers, and I got to do a video on this. The baby boomers failed your country. This is random. That's random information. But it's the truth. They failed you. And that's who's running your country right now. The baby boomers. The baby boomers are the ones that run your country, right? They run your country. And look, and look. They got all the excuses in the world. They know how to waltz around and pivot. Don't the baby boomers know how to dance? Boy, they know how to dance, don't they? Everybody can't work tonight. Everybody can't work tonight. They know how to dance, don't they? That's their song. Everybody can't work tonight. That's the only song they can sing. Everybody can't work tonight. That's the only song they can sing, bruh. But this new generation, I'm Generation X. Generation X is the best generation. We are. All your favorite musicians and stars now, a lot of them come from Generation X. Go look. Everybody you admire, a lot of them are from Generation X. And Generation X is not going to sit up here and dance and shimmy and shuck and jive and pivot and waltz around real issues. You all cannot work at the same time. Period. You can't do it. And they got all this money to do different things. Why isn't this money being utilized for this very purpose? To provide at least the opportunity. At least your government can say, well, we did try. We did give you an opportunity to work. We did give 333 million people an opportunity to work. Now, if they don't work, that ain't our problem. But they can't say that, can they? They can't say they gave you your whole American community the opportunity to work. They can't say they did it. So what are we doing? Everybody can't work tonight. Everybody can't work tonight. In actuality, we all singing that song if we live here. You all cannot work at one time. That's what you need to look at. That's what you need to look at. Why they looking at you like, well, why you ain't working? Why are you not working? Why they're despising you for not working? Why they feel like, why can't they work like the rest of us? We all can't work at one time. Now see, this is where I hold people responsible. Okay, you worried about everybody working, right? You despise the fact that everybody ain't working. You go around talking about everybody lazy, but you are not even educated on the fact that your whole country cannot work at one time. That's a 7 hour. Ooh. We can't all work at one time. So, you're uneducated about that. Why you sitting up here talking about everybody lazy and everybody don't want to work and we don't know what's going on? Want me to tell you what's going on? Everybody can't work at one time in your country. That's what's going on. So then, what really is going on is the next question. You don't think God see this? Yeah, they doing everything else. God just sitting back looking at them. Talking about everything else. Go look at these debates. Go look at these finance. That's what I'm going to do today, too. I'm going to take some time to look at all these presidential debates with the Joe Bidens of the world, with the Kamala Harrises of the world. I'm going to look at all these debates. And I'm going to see if any of them acknowledge, which I know they don't, do they acknowledge the fact that the whole American community cannot work at one time? Your politicians need to begin to speak in plain English, like I said. All this waltzing around, man, is getting played out. You're going to cause anarchy prematurely. You're going to cause anarchy prematurely, sitting up here shucking and jiving and waltzing around like nobody will know what you're doing. You can't provide jobs for everybody at one time. That's your biggest problem. See, I just solved your problem for you. Well, I presented your problem to you. Your biggest problem is everybody can't work at one time. I don't care nothing about no wars. I don't care nothing about it. Everything else is pale in comparison to the fact that everybody can't work. That should be your biggest priority. Not new buses, not new train systems, not new roads, not better seatings at the airport. I mean, stuff, just minute stuff, right? Your biggest situation is while you sitting up here waltzing around, you can employ everyone, but you boast of being the superpower. You boast of being the greatest country in the world. The free world is what you call it. The States, you go outside of America. Yeah, I'm going back to the States. Yeah, here in the States, you can't provide for a job and opportunity. A job opportunity. for every single American here in America. And that's what I'm talking about. They got all the time in the world to figure this stuff out. Why does it just take me? You're paying them for crying out loud. You're empowering them for crying out loud. You're giving them a career in the government for crying out loud. And they can't figure out this, what I just told you. Why they acting like African Americans are irrelevant? Well, you got the Hispanics and the Latinos, and now you're acting like we're irrelevant. Oh, y'all don't want to talk. Y'all don't want to hear it like that, do you? Oh, you don't want to hear it like that. It ain't their fault. I ain't blaming them. I ain't hating on them. But some people do. Some people say, well, they taking all the jobs. I ain't never said that. I'm gonna let you know. I'm gonna be 100 with you. I may have said other things, but I ain't never said that. Here's the real reality. It's not enough jobs for everybody anyway. How they taking something from you? Huh? Well, they shouldn't have to take nothing from you. They shouldn't be able to take nothing from you. You all should be able to have opportunities to work. But they're utilizing the Mexican and Latino, the Hispanic and Latino community as they utilized the African American community in the 60s and 70s. That's the seventh hour. They're utilizing them the same way they utilized us. And see, eventually, here's the problem. Eventually, they're going to get upset. They're going to be displeased with this American government too. It's just a matter of time. Yeah, it's cool now. It's cool now.